Right now we're in my home.
Yep.
I'm with Matt, and Matt's been with me almost a month, and Matt's right now starting another project.
Yeah.
In my mind, Matt's project is of serious revolutionary possibilities. And on that note, I support Matt 100%, which means his goal is to raise $3,000
For
immediate goal. And I said I would back him to the nth degree, which means I would set aside to borrow $3,000 to make sure it works. But I'm hoping that everybody gives me $1 so I don't have to do this. So I'm looking for 300 people to give me $10 because what I believe Matt's doing is like revolutionary as far as. Why don't you explain what you're doing? Because you know more than I do.
Well, I guess the immediate project we're working on is the project in right up the road in Dublin. And that was, it just happened, it just came about because a couple people had invested a lot of money into this organic hydroponics setup, and they have all this land.
And number one, it did not come about, it was by design.
Sure.
It was by universal design that you be here within 2 weeks that what you wanted, it actually came about. There's no accidents. Okay?
No, that's old hat to us now. We just kind of, things happen in the right thing. Because that's how we live our life. I mean, our whole life is devoted to that, so it doesn't even surprise us anymore when things fall into place.
Right.
But a friend of a friend took us to help them out because this project was just kind of going nowhere, and they had this hydroponic stuff, and they wanted to know if I could help. But I said, if it's not in the soil, I can't touch it. I don't know what to do with it. It's just, it doesn't work. I mean, even if I knew the chemistry behind it, it doesn't make any sense for me to hold on to it. It's like trying to live in space or teach somebody about nutrition through GNC or something like that. It just doesn't work. Organic hydroponics, organic or otherwise, hydroponics is just like a really sad system to have things growing in.
Because it's not
it's separated from the soil. It's alien.
Right.
It's completely.
Which is not what you're about.
It's the antithesis of sustainability.
Okay.
Because it's completely disconnected from the ground.
Like we're in some places in the dark.
So I told him about that, and I spent time talking to him. And one of my things that I feel like one of my strengths is I can persuade people. Because sometimes my passion can be contagious. And I talked to him for a while, and then he was totally swayed to the point where he was just like jumping in.
He totally agreed to to tear his whole.
Hey, he took out like
$100,000 worth of equipment on your word. On your word, that's unbelievable. Because what he was doing so far wasn't doing anything.
Yeah, when I explained to him what Julie and I do and we go places to help people, he said, "Well, if you can help me out and do that." But I said, "See, he wanted to do it for commercial. He wanted to grow the food. He was just going to do kale and the hydroponics." And I said, number one, if you don't have any biodiversity, it's going to be almost impossible to do it permaculturally. Number two, we can't just come in and help you do a commercial setup. It has to be based in the community. So our arrangement, our agreement was that if we do help him fix his thing that he did, then he's going to do a permaculture community center. Which I have to say, it's not. These are really good people. It's not like we're twisting their arm to do it. They once they heard about it, they want to do it anyway.
Absolutely.
So it was just a flow. It wasn't
but their goal was also to be viable.
Well, they have to pay. They have to pay the bills. They have a mortgage. They have to pay for the land. If they lose the land, then we lose the permaculture center.
Right.
So it's about sustainability. It's not about profit. I mean, it is in a sense, but overall, it's about sustaining that land.
Right.
One day, maybe we can change the way that land ownership works. But for now, in order to teach the community and grow food, grow good food for the community, because organic is one thing. Certified organic, I'm sorry to say to anybody who doesn't realize it yet, but it means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. But when you have a certified organic, a place that's already certified organic like they are, and we're doing it permaculturally, and we're doing it hands-on.
What does permaculture, right now they have two greenhouses.
Yeah.
What does permaculture mean? What they did wasn't working, and what are you going to do? How do you know? Explain what you're doing within the greenhouse.
We took all the hydroponic setup, which is basically tubes feeding into these styrofoam cups, into these inert solutions of vermiculite and perlite and all this kind of stuff, and now we replaced it with over 1,000 straw bales. But I came here and saw this setup, and you can see all these styrofoam cups with all this, hydroponic gear.
1,000 straw bales.
We brought in 20 yards of organic compost from a local source. Look at that, man. Oh, it's perfect.
Oh my god, dude. Is
Right.
And we are going to we started conditioning the bales, and we're going to start doing we're going to start doing straw bale gardens throughout the greenhouse. These are the bales we're taking in, the ones we started conditioning about 5-6 days ago. We took them off the truck. There's about probably 600-700 all together here now. We spent time throwing some dehydrated chicken manure in and watering, and that's what we did to condition them. So we didn't put much manure in, we just wanted to put a little bit in because it's so much carbon, just to activate it a little bit. And leaving it out in the rain was really good, and you can see it's getting pretty conditioned. It's really good. I mean, it's so much better than when I did it last time. I just kind of rushed and put the soil on, and it worked out fine, but these are getting really broken down and conditioned really nicely. So we're going to put these in the greenhouse.
This is in the greenhouses.
Yeah, to show a commercially viable setup.
And how much you have no idea about yield. What are you going to grow in the greenhouse?
What we're going to do
in the winter time.
In the winter time, we're going to do cold crops because we're not going to heat the greenhouses. It's going to be more of a passive setup, and we're going to have kale, collards, lettuces, chard. We're going to do a lot of green manure, so we'll do Bronco mustard, other kinds of mustard, some comfrey maybe. We're going to have other infusion of natives. And
What about mushrooms?
Well, mushrooms we could do, but that's a completely different animal.
ballpark.
We're going to be doing that. We can do that with wood chips or
Okay.
something else. But we are encouraging mycelia growth in the bales through a cardboard insert so that the mushrooms help the process break down and exchange the nitrogen and things. So we do have nitrogen fixers. So that's why it has to be permaculture. It has to be biodiversity, because if you grow a monocrop, if one insect comes in there or something, they'll just decimate the whole thing. There's no
And that's a big
barriers,
problem
no
in this country
boundaries.
today.
Yeah, because we rely, even in organic agriculture, we rely on chemicals and industry to repel what we call as pests, because we're removing the food we're growing from its natural element. So when we try to
these
monocrop
pets are
fish,
actually going to be their friends.
we're actually going to create an
Like
an environment where they can live, where they have
Together.
shelter and food.
As friends.
Yeah, it's going to be like a friendly neighbor kind of.
Friendly neighbor. Almost like the bacteria in our body. It's necessary.
So today we spent about probably 6-7 hours
Right.
trucking, wheelbarrowing,
This is, you got 100 pounds?
400 straw bales, about 100 pounds each.
100 pounds each times 400 is what, 40,000 pounds?
Yeah, and the two of us, Terry and
I want to also explain, Matt got the 40,000 pounds of straw bale. His wage for the day was $0.
Right. Well, that should bring us to the point why we're raising the money.
$0.
Why we're
That
raising
means $0.
Why we're raising the money is
And he's going to do this for us. Next rest of his life, $0.
why
This
we're-
guy is dedicated
Why
to
we're
the
raising that $3,000 is because right
Why?
now we need to have a place that we can stay on that property so that we can make this happen. We
You
can't
need
just
$3,000.
We need to build a yurt, because initially we're going to eventually build maybe a cordwood house or something,
Right.
cordwood cob house, but that's going to take a lot of permitting and crap. The first easiest thing is going to be the yurt, because we can
Right
pop
now
that
you have
up.
$200.
We can pop that up.
You want 1 month.
We have 30 days on
30
Green
days.
Trees to complete the $3,000. If we don't get it all, we don't get any of it. Right
The
now
thing
we
is,
have
you have it all.
$200.